Hi there, my name's Steve. I'm originally from Australia. If you've been to my site now, you know that I'm born again, been saved by the blood of Jesus Christ. And I just would like to give my testimony from the period of time from the time I've been 11 years of age. I've been a manic depressive. I was molested at 12 years of age by a man. He threatened that if I told anything that something would happen to me and I had to keep it quiet. I grew up seeing my dad beating my mum all the time, which made me become a very hated person. I didn't like to go to school because I got beaten up all the time. All these things just started hatred in me. I left home when I was 15 years of age, and I met this man that said he was a council worker, that he would look after me, and he sexually molested me as well. But because I didn't want to go back to my parents, I basically stayed in that relationship with him for a while. That I told him that he can't touch me, but he had other young friends, I guess you'd call him a pedophile, and he used to start molesting them, and I knew about it, but I lived in this world, of perverted ways of thinking, learning about pornography, drinking, just basically thinking that I'm having a good time. But eventually came down to the point that I got into the occult side of it, and I used to get on the Ouija board, and don't play with Ouija boards because they are the gateway to hell. And I actually got possessed by a demon. And I was about probably 18 years of age that I was possessed by this demon, and it just instructed me what to do most of my life for a good year or so. It just told me what to do, and it told me that everybody hated me and I wasn't worth living, and to come with them and I'll be treated better. And it got me to a point that I was so depressed and so angry with the world that I tried to commit suicide. I remember the time when I actually drove my car out, but I know that for a reason, there was a reason there, that I was saved, and I believe it was an angel, because when I looked up and I was almost out of it, and I looked up and I saw something glowing, and then all I remember after that was passing out and the police smashing my door down and pulling me out, and all I wanted to say is I want to die, just leave me alone. Well, anyway, long story short of that, they put me in a funny farm, as we say in Australia, or a psychiatric centre. Stayed there for about 3 months, and I just told people, well, I don't want to live, I don't like anybody, I just hate it, and just, you ain't going to change me, I just hate the world. Well, I ended up going back with my mum and dad, and they allowed me to come back home, so I stayed there for a while. But then there was fights and problems going on there again, and basically I was drinking and trying to defend myself, and basically getting angry again, and I decided to go back to the man that I used to live with. So I went back with him and went back into the perverted world that I was accustomed to. This went on for about, probably I would say I was about 22 years of age. I learned to use my body to show that I could make money. I'm not proud of the fact. I'm not here to justify what I did, I'm just here to justify what the Lord did for me. I met this woman, she was 13 years older than me. She changed my life around. She took me away from all that perversion and all, and the man got angry about it and had his friends come to where we used to live together, I ended up moving in with her and telling her that I was his boy and he wants me back. Well, she wanted to know what was going on about that and said, well, what's the problem here? What are you? Are you gay? Are you heterosexual? You don't seem to be that way, because our sexual life was fine. There's no problem with that. But it got me into a point of depression again, that she said, well, if you want to go back to where you came from. So I was so depressed yet again, I actually went back out into the country again and tried to take my life again. I drove all the way out into the outback, as we say, or like in a forest area, and it was roads that led to nowhere, basically, the old fire tracks, and I just drove straight out there, and it was probably about midnight by the time I got out there, and I just wanted to be lost so no one could find me. Anyway, I tried to carbon monoxide I used, tried to gas myself, put the pipe into the exhaust pipe into the thing, and almost out of it again. But this time there was no light. This time it was darkness and it was fear, and I could see as I was almost ready to pass out, instead of seeing something that looked like loving, all I saw was hatred. I saw these red eyes peering around my vehicle, and I saw basically hell ready to beckon me to come. And I could hear voices taunting me and laughing. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You're nearly there now, you're nearly there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And it was so scary. And I remember it was the most scariest feeling I've ever had in my life, that it actually woke me up. Got me out of the car, took out the pipe, the hose I should say, and stopped what I was doing. And then I actually started crying out to God, and I said, you know what, God, you're really there. I said, you're going to get me out of this situation. Now I put myself in a situation that I'm probably 10 miles inside fire tracks, where it's going to have a hard time to find me, and I couldn't even find my other way back out. But I prayed to God that you're going to lead me out, and I swear my hands just changed, and I was controlled by something, and I don't know, because I didn't know God at that time. I didn't know what was going on, but I was guided out of that area, and I found my way back. I found my way back to my girlfriend at that period of time that I was living with. We made up again, and I told her about the situation, and I didn't want to go back. So after this happened, I actually went back to this man and said I would like to meet him again. And we met in a public place, and he wanted me to come back to his apartment, and I said, no, if you do this ever again, I said, I don't want any part of you or anything to do with you. You do this to me, and I will kill you. I will kill you. That's how much anger and resentment I had towards this man. And he finally left me alone. Well, that type of lifestyle had gone, but now I changed from one lifestyle to another, because this woman taught me about gambling.